Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing players, and anyone who is potentially interested in X-Wing. Welcome to our channel. Please subscribe to our future transmissions and click like on the videos that you like. The more videos you click like on, the more we know what videos to create more of, and there you have it. So, my call sign is BatMando. If you are wanting to learn this game or just getting back into this game, then this is the place to be. Today, we are continuing a series called What Can I Fly? The topics of this video are going to be blockers and bombers and their purpose for the board control and to deal out passive damage. So let's start with the blockers. As you can see, they have multiple purposes. They are there to stop movements of other ships. They are there to set up a kill box. They are there to minimize actions and or abilities of opposing pilots. Now, for instance, Vader. If Vader runs into your blocker, then he does not get an action other than a stressed focus. So that eliminates him from getting a target lock on the ship that he was potentially targeting. And essentially, that turns him, since he doesn't have a target lock anymore, he doesn't get the extra attack die as part of his ship ability, and therefore he's nothing more than a TIE fighter with 2 attack dice. So, now, plus, if he's shooting the ship that he just ran into, he doesn't even get to modify. So there you go. So now, this also affects Kylo, this affects Jake Farrell, and any other linked action pilots, such as the silencers. Now, you can use mostly generic pilots for certain ship types to achieve the same effect for blocking. I've provided you a list of different ships that could do that. And this may be the one and only time where I actually say that a droid fighter is useful, and they actually are quite useful in creating a blockade that results in a kill box. They can go ahead and set up, say, 2 ships in front of where they think another ship is going, and then have other ships following behind to go ahead and focus fire into whatever ship they block. So they can be useful. Also, ladies and gentlemen, medium and large bases in the middle of a swarm can really make it hard to move around, especially when those bases or those ships, they may have a stop in their dial or a hard stop in their dial, and then that's going to make it even worse for a swarm to try to fly past them. So, there you go. Now, what makes a good blocker? Usually it's having to do with the fact that your blockers have lower initiatives. So they can be fast. They can also have higher defense rolls, as in more defense dice than others, and they are quite maneuverable. So, for example, Arvel here is allowed to get a range 1 bonus on a range 0 attack. Now, that's not like most of the other blockers that you have here. However, it makes it highly effective for Orville. So, and makes him a prime candidate to block other ships. Now, here's an example of how Hollow held Kylo back at this particular time. So, in which case, I would not often characterize Hollow as a blocker. He does this in this example, though. So you can see at the end of round 2 here that he has the option to fly forward to block Blackout or to turn in to block Kylo. And then, as you can see here in the round 3, he chose to turn in and block Kylo. So that makes Kylo unable to complete his maneuver, and as a result, Kylo cannot get any action other than a stress focus. So when it comes to Kylo's range 0 attack, there's no way for Kylo to modify, even using force. So that means that Hollow doesn't take any damage during this attack, and Hollow also does not lose the crate that they are carrying for the salvage mission. So now, this is something that you can see in our round reports released on November 4th of 2023. Now, we can go ahead and move on to the next thing, but I strongly recommend that you watch this series of round reports, because while the game on this, I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say that the outcome is not what you expect. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to continuing with blockers. And blockers can cause a domino effect. So, in a forthcoming video about swarms set to release in December, you will see how a single shuttlecraft can debilitate an entire Imperial swarm. As you can see from the picture, many of the ships are bunched together and were not able to get actions on that particular round. So, in which case, one shuttle, one blocker, one ship can pile up a whole bunch of other ships coming in right behind them. So, now let's go ahead and move on to bombers. So, every bomber has two purposes. The first is to deal out passive damage or damage that is not made through shots. The second is to intimidate and control movement of other ships. For instance, if a bomber is flying towards you head on and you have to fly past it during the next round, then you have to be concerned whether a bomb or other device will be dropped behind that bomber and what kind of damage it could do to you. Thus, you have to plan your movements in accordance to the chance of a device or bomb being in range of you to do passive damage. So every faction has a bomber, and the current meta during this recording, as in the date of this recording, Imperial TIE bombers are a integral part of the current Empire meta. So most of the bombers have Nimble Bomber, and they are flying with barrage rockets and another bomb on top of that. So in which case, watch out for those. Now, some ships can be modified to take bombs, such as the Nimbus-class V-Wing and the Rogue-class Starfighter. So, here's an example of how to use a first-order TIE bomber. At the end of round 3, you can see that the bomber is right there in front of Luke. Now, at the end of round 3, the bomber is going to use its system phase to drop a bomb and then boost past Luke, because that's what first order bombers can do during the system phase. They can drop a bomb and boost, or they can boost, then drop a bomb. So, and then they continue their movement right after, or when it comes to their time. So, in which case, there you have it. Bomb is dropped, boost past Luke here, and then you have a concussion bomb between Hera and Luke. Now, in which case, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that concussion bombs are really nasty because they do damage under the shield. And Hera only has 4 hull points, thus taking concussion bombs under her shields it's not going to be good for her in the long run, especially if, well, she only has 1 defense die, and if I had other ships turn towards her, we could be doing double damage to make certain that we kill her twice as quick. But having concussion bombs going under her shields, that is going to take her out of this game seriously soon. So, in which case, during this chance engagement of this fight between myself and Ecto Wookiee, I was able to keep Hera out of the fight due to the fear of those bombs all the way through round 6. So, check out more of the round reports to see how the use of blocking and the use of bombs really changed the outcome of this particular chance engagement. Now, as always, if there is an element of this video that did not make sense, feel free to check out any one of these 3 websites, which we provide in every description of every video that we post. If you have any questions, please feel free to email the address on this screen here, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So please support our channel by subscribing. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say thank you. So thank you to Slides Carnival and Unsplash for the use of their media during this presentation. And as always, please support our channel by subscribing. Click like on the videos that you like and want to see more of. Come back for the next video in the series. And as always, BatMando out.